Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Jetty, and I'm back with another video. I hope you've missed me because I've missed you guys. I hope your 2024 is off to a great start. Without further ado, let's get into it. So today we're going to be talking about how exactly to establish the right hair care routine for you. I found a really cool article on healthline.com. It's really hard to find articles where they're not trying to sell you something. They're actually giving you good advice and it's not because of an ad. I like to find articles that are geared more towards knowledge than just surrounding a product ad. So I kind of skimmed this one. I didn't read it all the way through. Hopefully it doesn't get real, you know, addy. Hate that. But without further ado, let's get into the article and see what knowledge we can seek out. So the first part just starts out by saying getting into a hair care routine is just like embarking on a skincare one. Once you've found one that works for you, you rarely stray. I have to agree with that. My hair care routine is really simple. You guys know that. And honestly, I do it now without even thinking. It says, but the process of finding that routine can seem a little daunting, especially when there's numerous options for people with the same type of hair. Here's a breakdown of everything you need to know to find the hair care ritual that's right for you. The article continues to say that your individual hair care routine ultimately depends on a few factors, from the feel of your hair to the styles that you prefer. These elements will all alter the routine that you end up choosing. They note that hair types tend to be fine, thick, or coarse and fall into one of the four categories: straight, wavy, kinky, curly. Each has its upsides and its downsides. For example, straight hair usually looks and feels greasy quicker than curly hair due to oil speedily making its way through the hair shaft. You do tend to hear a lot of people who have naturally straight hair complain that it's hard to achieve volume. Their hair sits flat at the top and it's, kind of hard for them to get curls. Their hair just wants to stay straight. So if you guys watching are probably natural, but I think it's good to note that no matter what hair type you have, everybody kind of wants something else from the other hair type, whether it be volume, whether it be curls, whether it be maybe the simplicity of straight hair, because when you have curly kinky hair, you do have to care for it, and you do have to care for it in a certain way. But I think that's everybody's hair though. I think everybody's hair has these fragilities to it that, we all feel like somebody else has it better. So they go on to say that if your hair has been in contact with dye, bleach, or chemicals, that you may have to think a little bit extra about your routine. People with dyed hair are advised not to wash it every day to prevent premature color fading and dryness, and bleached hair may require some extra nourishment in the form of conditioner or hair mask. You guys know that when I began to really grow out my hair to longer lengths, I had bleached hair that I slowly started to cut off. The bleach didn't prevent me from growing my hair at all. However, extra moisture was needed because bleached hair, is just a whole nother ball game. Obviously, it has been lightened, so it does cause an extreme amount of dryness and damage if you're not really careful. Me personally, I don't think you need Olaplex. I mean, Olaplex is a great line. I have used some products. I'm not gonna maybe for people who have bleached their hair from beyond repair, maybe Olaplex is good. But for me, using a really good shampoo and conditioner like my L'Oreal Elvive line, that kept my hair very moisturized and it helped me to grow out my hair very, very long. And I just kept trimming off the ends little by little every few months. Not even trimming, more so micro dusting every few months. Eventually, I got all of the bleached part off. You definitely do have to stay on top of moisture. You definitely do have to stay on top of protein. And I found that just wetting my hair more often and washing it more often and submerging it in conditioner was enough. And of course, the L'Oreal Elvive conditioner has a certain amount of protein in it because it is a reconstructing conditioner. So I didn't really have to think about, moisture, protein balance. The water that I was nourishing my hair with on a frequently, weekly basis, 2 to 3 times a week, plus that conditioner that contained protein, that was enough balance for me. Again, I didn't really have to think about that whole protein moisture balance. I just kind of took really good care of my hair. I didn't care about length, which was interesting. When I stopped caring about length and I started caring more about my hair's health my hair flourished and it just began to grow faster than what I could think of. But I think it's because I really just took my mind off of length and cared more so about health. Hair health is what kind of like started that journey to take off. So it says, how do you want to wear your hair on a daily basis? Do you like to straighten your hair, curl it, leave it completely natural? It's another thing you'll have to consider, especially if you're a fan of using damaging heat tools. Guilty. So then they go on to note that if you have specific concerns that you want to address, it's normal to find at least one aspect of your hair problematic, whether it's frizzy, a flaky scalp, or dry ends, damaged strands. Knowing what the problem is half the task. The rest involves finding the best solution. And I think that's true. Like, I feel like for a lot of people, like if you are trying to grow your hair out longer and you're finding that it's not retaining length, you really have to get down to the bottom of why. Here's the thing, I think most people can grow really, really long hair. Everybody's hair is just different, and it doesn't matter if you're the same skin color as someone else, your hair is still your hair. The properties that it has is its properties, and you have to find out what exactly are you doing to your hair that is not agreeing with your goals, right? Your hair goals, whether it is just to have less frizzy hair, whether it is to have longer hair, like whatever, more shinier hair, whatever. You have to figure out what's going on with your hair and why you're having a hard time achieving your hair goals. It goes on to talk about some of the components of a natural hair routine. It says, however, every routine shares a few basic components. Although your hair type concerns will alter your hair care routine in some ways, there are a few basic steps that every person can benefit from. And here comes like the whole universal law, right? Cleansing is a balance between removing things like dead skin and product residue without stripping the hair of its natural oils. Without a good wash, sebum will build up, leaving unwanted oiliness. And that's true. There's nothing worse than trying to do a silk press or just straighten your hair on hair with a lot of buildup and a lot of sebum on the scalp. You can smell it. You can feel like the stickiness at the scalp. It's just not a good look. So you need a good shampoo to take care of that. So again, like it said, without a good wash, sebum will build up, leaving unwanted oiliness, and so will dead skin, guys. So dead skin renews itself every 28 days, and this may be noticeable if your hair is not clean. So it's going on to talk about conditioning. Conditioners have myriad benefits. The main one is moisturizing, but others include detangling, shininess, and frizz reduction. The main ingredient of a conditioner is called a cationic surfactant. When hair is wet, this sticks to it, coating the strands to replenish the moisture that shampoo has removed. And I'm guessing that's that reaction that you get, like, you know how when you shampoo your hair and it kind of like dries it out, but then you put the conditioner on and your hair like softens and becomes buttery soft, and it gives you the, I guess, the ability like to go ahead and detangle and stuff. I guess that's that cationic surfactant. So then they also go on to talk about moisturizing and sealing. It says to add further hydration to the hair, you may want to embark on a two-step process known as moisturize and seal. This can be particularly useful for kinky or coily hair that tends to be dry. The aim is to seal in moisture, not to lock in dryness, using a hydrating product and a sealing oil. I definitely think there's some benefits to moisturizing and sealing, especially when I choose to keep my hair natural and I like to use my conditioner as a leave-in. I obviously rinse it first, and then I'll go in with a little bit of the conditioner, not like a whole lot. And then I will take a I will take a hair oil like this, like something with like the methicone in it or some type of silicone in it. I don't even know if this one has that, but usually I like the thicker ones that kind of like are a little bit thicker than this serum, and I like to put it on top because I feel like it really does help when it comes to just, I don't know, sealing in moisture. It just does something. My hair is still very soft the next time I go back to wash it again, and without even having to put more conditioner in it, I can like go through it with a brush and like literally detangle my hair before I wash it. So I think like that's pretty cool. So then they go on to talk about detangling. It says detangling is an essential for stopping breakage and for making your life a whole lot easier. But you need to use just the right tool, such as a wide tooth comb, to avoid pulling your hair out by mistake. Depending on your hair type, You may need to detangle every day or much less often. I think it just depends. I definitely don't detangle every day. I think most people don't, of different hair types. I think that a lot of people just kind of do it once in a while. Like if your hair is straightened, like I don't wear my hair down every day like this, even while it's straightened. It's usually in a bun. As for brushes, I really love this one. I'm not a fan of like combs. The only time I use a comb is if I'm partying or like doing baby hairs, but I'm not like using a comb just to like detangle my hair. I think for me personally, I just find that combs cause a lot of breakage and I just don't like them for detangling. But I do love brushes like this. I think it gets the job done. There's like a lot of like hair in it, but I love brushes like this because you can detangle multiple sections of hair at one time versus trying to like do little by little with a comb. Spot treating hair simply means picking out a particular area that's bothering you and doing something to remedy it. For example, you're fed up with how frizzy your hair is, so you use a protein treatment. Or you've noticed that your scalp is feeling extra dry, so you apply a super nourishing product designed just for that area. Although most people will religiously stick to the above steps, there's no set product or tool that you need to abide by. Instead, experiment to see which ones work for you. So then they go into like styling and protecting. So different stylers that you can use is mousse, waxes, like to kind of slick your hair down. A lot of us like waxes and pomades to like do our baby hairs and stuff. Gel, dry shampoo, volumizer, texturizer, shine serum or spray, hairspray, heat protection and spray. I think we pretty much all know what those are. I will link this article in the description box so you guys can go back and kind of review it on your own. Then they go on to talk about treatments. So they talk about like a scalp treatment. They said an exfoliating scalp treatment can unclog follicles, stimulate circulation for growth, and calm issues like itchiness once or twice a month. I have never did an exfoliator for my scalp, but it is something that I want to try. I've just been lazy and haven't tried it. But if you guys know like a good brand for scalp exfoliators, let me know. I think I want to try one. So it says your individual hair needs will naturally change over time. There's a saying that hair changes texture every 7 years. Unlike most of the rumors floating around the internet, this one does have an element of truth behind it. Hair grows in bundles, and these bundles start again every 7 years or so. Over time, less strands appear, resulting in the thinning, weaker hair often associated with aging. Hormones can also alter hair. During pregnancy, for example, rising estrogen levels can slow down hair shedding, resulting in thicker, seemingly shinier hair. When levels of these kinds of hormones drop, hair loss can occur. Menopause, for example, is often linked to such hair issues. Noticing these changes and responding appropriately can keep your hair looking healthy. A good rule of thumb is to swap products as the seasons change. I definitely agree with this because I think some products work really good during like winter at keeping your hair really, really moisturized, whereas in the summer you probably don't really need that much of heavy products. You can use lighter products and get away with it. When the winter months hit, many need to opt for certain products with extra hydrating properties. Thicker creams are also favored. But in the warmer summer season, you may want to choose more lightweight formulas to help hair stay bouncy in the face of humidity. So some general hair tips and tricks that benefit all hair types. Lastly, it's worth knowing a few handy things that will apply to any hair texture and concern. So you should get regular trims. If your hair is looking unhealthy, it may be because it needs a snip. Use warm water, not hot water. Dousing hair in hot water can dry it out, and if dyed, can fade the color quickly. You don't have to endure a freezing cold shower or a bath, just switch to lukewarm water instead. Number 3 is to make sure you're getting these nutrients in your diet. Even your diet can benefit your hair. Protein, also known as the hair's building block, will only reach the hair if enough is consumed. Iron is also an important source for life in hair. When the body doesn't have enough, hair growth can be affected. Vitamins A and C are worth looking out for too. The former is needed to produce hair's natural oils, while the latter aids in collagen production, thereby strengthening the hair. And don't forget omega-3 fatty acids, that's a good one. These are needed for hydration and overall scalp health. So then they go on to say going natural where possible. Letting your hair breathe can work wonders. This can involve restricting heat use by letting it air dry and avoiding straighteners and curling irons. Even putting your hair up in a tight ponytail can cause strain, so leave it down and stop the pull. And if you don't need to use a styling product, don't use it. That way you'll reduce residue and build up. The bottom line, figuring out a hair care routine may take a few days, if not a few weeks, but once it's sorted, you're well on the way to getting the hair that you deserve. Yeah, I will put all of this down in the description box so you guys can look over this article if you want to. I definitely think it had a lot of elements in it that had some true facts. I think it just depends on who the message is reaching, right? Because we all have different hair types, we all have different needs, and we shouldn't generalize or base our needs on someone else's and vice versa. So I just say do your own research. And part of that research is trying things on your own, finding out what your hair likes, finding out the products that your hair likes, and go from there. Never ever continue to use a product that is drying out your hair drastically or making it break or be damaged. Me personally, I'm not willing to risk the integrity of my hair just to use a certain product. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I was thinking really heavily on getting a keratin treatment, but after really thinking about it and watching a lot of videos of it, like I was so tempted because people were just saying like, wow, like your hair becomes so much like manageable. So I was like really tempted. You guys know, like honestly, I decided to leave relaxers alone because I didn't want to be like a slave to anything anymore. Like, meaning, like, once you start doing relaxers, you have to keep doing them, right? And like, once you start doing keratin treatments, you have to keep doing them. Because once your hair starts growing out, now you're battling two hair textures. So that's like a fight all within itself. You know what? Your hair's healthy, it's long, it's beautiful, leave it alone. And I would say the same thing to you guys. Like, before you consider doing anything that's going to be a permanent change to your hair, really just think twice about that and think about if that's what you really want. Me personally, it's not, but you know, everybody's different. Other people might be like, I don't care, and that's fine. I just decided for me, you know, I was just like, no. And I think sometimes I just get bored. I'm just like, let's try something. But, anyways, guys, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys again soon. Bye.